Now we have the last part of the exercise 20-27. We're going to do a journal entry, and then we're going to do the T account for the work in process inventory account. So requirement 2, prepare the journal entry to record the cost of units completed and transferred out. Record debits first, then credits. Exclude explanations from journal entries. So as a reminder of what that workflow looks like, we're working with the bottling department. So we're trying to figure out, of these 152,000 units that are completed and transferred out, what was their cost? And once we figure out their cost, we're going to lower the bottling department by that amount and increase the finished goods inventory by that amount. So the whole reason we do the production cost report is to try to get this completed and transferred out total costs. So notice we've got the total cost column, and we want to take this number, this 194,560, and copy and paste it for our debit and credit, because this is how much it costs to create these units that were completed and transferred out. So these 152,000 units complete and transferred out, it costs us that $194,560 to manufacture them. So now they're being transferred out of the bottling department, so we need to credit the bottling department. So it's going to go to work in process inventory bottling. And then they're going into the finished goods inventory. So that's the account that's going to be debited. So that's finished goods inventory there. Let's go ahead and check our answer. Well done. Okay. Now we're moving on to requirement 3, the last part of our problem. So we have to post all the transactions to the work in process inventory bottling T account. What is the ending balance? Enter the beginning balance, BAL February 28th, and then post all transactions to work in process inventory bottle T account using the appropriate descriptions as posting references. Calculate and enter the ending balance of the account, BAL March 31st, on the appropriate side of the T account. Well, we already know the ending balance, so we can scroll back up here. So that ending work in process balance is that 22,770. That's the total cost there. But they want you to do a T account to kind of show you how the whole thing is working. So we know we're talking about this bottling department here. We're going to have a beginning balance and then the costs that were transferred in and added, and then we're going to have some transferred out, and then we'll have an ending balance. So as always in a work in process, we have a beginning balance at the beginning of the month. So that'll be here, balance February 28th. Then we transferred in some costs. Remember, we transferred in costs from the previous department, the mixing department, and then we added some direct materials. So that will come next here. And then we also added direct labor and manufacturing overhead. So how do we find those amounts? So our beginning balance, let's take a look at our data here, is this 2,730. So you can go and copy and paste that in. So beginning inventory is what we're talking about here. And also remember, since this is a T account, we want costs, we don't want the units. So then we added some costs transferred in, and then this is that transferred in right here. That's the cost. And we'll add that in for 134,800. And just as a reminder for that, transferred in, we don't want to take these total costs because that includes the direct materials, labor, and manufacturing overhead. So we're just dealing with transferred in here, that 134,800 for this one. And next we want the direct materials, so we're going to go ahead and grab this number, this 3,400 next. And then next up we have direct labor, so that comes next here in our table. It's 33,100. Copy and paste that over. And remember, this is all for the units that were started and transferred in. And then next up we have manufacturing overhead, that's 16,300. Copy and paste. And then on this side here, we need the cost of the unit transferred out to finished goods. And we get that number, we scroll up here, from here completed and transferred out, it's that total cost of 194,560. And you scroll up a little further to see that's the total cost here of that completed and transferred out. And that's going to go here on the right side of our T account to lower the work in process inventory bottling, because again it's going into the finished goods. And then we need our ending work in process balance, so that's BAL March 31st. And where do we get that? We can scroll back up here. It's that ending work in process, that total cost here at the end of 22,770. So we can input that here on this side. The debit side. And to double check, we can do our math by adding all of these here on the left side and subtracting out the transferred finished goods. And again, that's just another way to double check, but then let's go ahead and check our answer. Excellent. So that means we've done the production cost report correctly, and that is it.